Welcome to Golden Drop, everybody. My name is Sharon McDonald, and I'm happy to be here today with you to talk about copaiba. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's super fun, and you get 2 for 1 this week. This is a special episode of Golden Drop, and we're going to be talking about these 2 beautiful essential oils. The first question that I get from people is, how do you say copaiba? Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to say it. You are going to say it, if you're English speaking, copaiba. Co-pai-ba. Okay? If you're Portuguese speaking, in any way, shape, or form, you're going to say copaiba. Okay? That's how they say it in Portuguese, copaiba. And so this is a magical combination of essential oil. It's a single essential oil coming from an Amazonian tree and out of Brazil, and it is amazing for helping the body with support itself through inflammation. So any kind of pain, joint, brain function, anything like this, it's going to be absolutely magical. And to support that, I'm going to be using this new book called Oil Magic. Okay. This Oil Magic book is amazing, and it has a lot of really great tips in it for what does an essential oil do. So the first thing that I hear from people when they start using essential oils is they're like, I just don't know where to begin. The first thing is you need to find some tools, okay? So this is one book I'll be using today. And then I'll also be using the emotional book because I love when I need emotional help. I love being able to go to this book and picking this up and looking at it as well. So this is Emotions and Essential Oils, and I'm going to be highlighting what we do with copaiba, all right? But first of all, I want to share with you, like, how do we do this? How do we use this? What can we use copaiba with? And what can we use it for? So I want to start with the brain first, okay? So if you've ever had head trauma, if you have an athlete, if you have little kids, this, like frankincense, is something you're never going to want to leave home without. This is going to be really critical. If someone wants focus, both of those essential oils, frankincense and copaiba, are going to give really quick clarity and agility. So if you've got an athlete that needs to be on the game, in line, on spot on all the time, with their agility, their eye-hand coordination, all those things that the brain helps with, this is a great one. Where do you apply it? You're going to take a drop like this in your hand, okay? And I like to rub the fingers together, and then I like to rub it on the back of the neck. This is called the nape of the neck, where a kitten gets picked up from its mama or a puppy. You're going to rub it back there and rub up into those little 2 nodules on the back of the skull, okay? Sometimes they're really pronounced and other times they're not, depending on the barometric pressure. And then you're going to take another little, just shake the bottle like that if you would like, and you're going to put some here on the forehead and then right here on the temples. And it really just enhances that eye-hand coordination, brain communication. So if you suffer from emotional disorders, okay, this is also good. So you're going to apply it the same way as an athlete, and you're going to be able to use it internally. This is another really good one for athletes. I like to take my thumb, tip it over, and I'm going to put it on the roof of my mouth like this. And I'm going to put it right on the roof of my mouth, and I'm going to leave it there for a minute, or I can do this. I can lift up my tongue like that, and then I'm going to drop it in, and you can feel these drop under your tongue. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay. I got 2 drops in there, and then you just let it go, and it will go into your system. It doesn't taste terrible. Frankincense you can taste a woody taste to copaiba, but with frankincense, it's a very resin kind of a, tree sap. If you've ever eaten tree sap thinking that you could have gum when you were little, I used to do that on our cherry tree all the time. I used to think that you could do it with pine too, but it was terrible. and super, super nasty. So we would always spit it out, but it has that kind of flavor. If you've ever done that, maybe I'm just a crazy little 5-year-old, and that's what I would do because I would play in the woods all the time. So I wanted to just share with you someone who has epilepsy. Maybe you are having some neurological issues, or maybe you have Parkinson's, maybe you have something along those lines that you're really needing some extra neurological support, maybe depression. To support your mind, you're going to apply these the same way, in the same exact manner. And you can also diffuse this. And I'm going to share with you what you can diffuse with this to make it a nice aroma going through your home while you're still supporting your brain function. And what this will do is it will help that eye-hand coordination. It will help, if you're shaking, it will dissipate that. I actually have a friend who used copaiba on her hands to immediately stop the shaking of her Parkinson's. And it was very, very incredible. I was very impressed. I did not think that it would have that kind of an effect very quickly, but she literally would put a drop on, rub her hands together, and immediately the tremors would stop. So that was a nice way to see how an essential oil, this plant-based Mother Earth magic, goes into the system so quickly in 30 seconds and allows the body to start doing its job. And why would that be? Because they communicate with our cells so well. Essential oils are fat loving, and they go right into those cells and they do their good. They're lipophilic. And so they go in and they start communicating, and immediately the body is receptive because it understands the communication. And that's something that a synthetic medication or a synthetic communicator can't do, because it doesn't have all the properties that something natural does. So we love plant-based medicine. We love plant-based help because our bodies communicate with it. So what are some of the things that copaiba can do? It's analgesic. So when you see that big word and you're like, oh, I don't even know what that means, that is something. If you are using opioids, or you're using opiates or narcotics or pain relievers of any kind, you can use copaiba in the same manner to support your activity level and your pain level, help to bring that down, and without going on these other medications. Another really cool tip about copaiba is that it will not test positive on a drug test because it's not a drug, right? So that's a really, really big tip, because oftentimes this is one of those things that people get very concerned about. Well, if it's as powerful as CBD or marijuana or any of these opioids that I'm using so I can go to work, I can't take it because I've got to have a job, right? And that's not the way this works. That's the beauty of it. There's thousands and thousands of compounds in this bottle that are going to help you function on a day-to-day basis without addiction. And that's a huge deal. So it's analgesic. That's what analgesic means. And so it acts like a sedative as well. So it helps bring you down and help you calm and help you be in control and collected. Okay, that's a big deal for many, many people. It's antifungal. You know what that means. It helps protect the body against fungus, molds, things like that. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps with the inflammatory systems of the body so that your body can really be sending out its own receptors, pain receptors, and being able to control itself in a better way so that it's not on high alert and overactive. It's a diuretic, meaning it helps get rid of extra fluid. It's going to help with that. And it's an exportant. And what does that mean? It helps with chest. So if you've got a lot of phlegm or congestion in the lungs, it will help bring that out. How would you do that? You would apply it to your hand, rub it in, put your hand, your fist over your hand, blow out, breathe in. And that acts like a personal inhaler. It's fabulous. If you add a drop of doTERRA's Breathe to this with a drop of lime, you're really going to be able to enhance that. You can also rub that over the chest and have it work inside the chest that way as well. But to get it deep, the aroma in that lung area, it also works as well as putting on topically, just so you know. So you can use this for congestion. You can use it for mood. Like I had said earlier, anxiety. If you suffer from that, it will support you really, really well in that. Nail fungus, guys, women, and men who have nail fungus on their fingernails or their toenails, it's coming up on spring and summer where you're going to be wearing your flip-flops, and you can get rid of that nasty look if you just put copaiba on those nails. It will work really, really well. One of the things that I use copaiba for is migraine support. I will get once a month, I get this little hormonal migraine, and my recipe is 10 drops of copaiba, 10 drops of aroma touch, 10 drops of deep blue, 10 drops of copaiba. I've got to remember this. Copaiba, aroma touch, deep blue, 5 drops of clary sage, and it seems to me like there might be one more missing. If you're my friend, put it in the chat box so that you can remember this. It's something that I should have memorized. So copaiba, aroma touch, deep blue, all 3, 10 drops, 5 drops of clary sage, and I feel like there's one more missing, but that right there in a roller bottle all by itself. And I don't think frankincense is in that, but I will get back to you when we post this. We'll post that recipe as well. But anyway, I put it in a roller bottle, 10 ml roller bottle, and then I fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil. Oh, peppermint. That's what it is. It's peppermint. 10 drops of peppermint, 10 drops of copaiba, 10 drops of aroma touch, 10 drops of deep blue. Okay. Then you do 5 drops of clary sage. Okay. That is the magic combination. And then I put it on the back of my neck. I put it right here and right here. And then I put a little bit of deep blue rub over the top of that. It is magical. It is magical. You can use this same roller bottle for cramps, ladies. Men, you can use this also, the same combination for calves. Pre-workout, post-workout, pre-performance, post-performance. Awesome. Any aches and pains you have, fibromyalgia people, also this roller bottle remedy is amazing for that. So I love it. And it's the only thing that's worked for me in the last, I miscarried my baby in 2011. So 7 years, you guys, 7 years this has been working for me. So copaiba was a new addition for me, but I'm telling you, in 7 years, this was it for me to be able to really get a handle on this without turning to an alternative like, caffeine, something with caffeine in it, which I don't like to do. So it really, really works well for migraines. Other tips that this book has, so like we said, pain and inflammation, wrinkles and pimples. This is a big deal. So if you have acne, you can put this on, and I like to add it with melaleuca and a little bit of lavender because it's all anti-inflammatory, all of those, but very drying to the skin as well. Not to the point where it's going to be flaky. One thing that those of you who have acne forget, you must moisturize. So you have to clean the skin and have clean skin of the bacteria, but you also need to moisturize to be able to help the skin not be red and inflamed, which will cause more breakouts. You need to always, 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 always make sure you moisturize. So HD Clear is a really great product doTERRA has that's a good must have. And then you can use copaiba, melaleuca over the top if you don't like the smell of HD Clear. If you're using HD Clear, just touch the pimples and then put copaiba all over the face, and you will have a really, really good experience with that. Athlete's foot. I have a kiddo with athlete's foot right now, and this is exactly what we did last night. Put copaiba on the bottom with melaleuca on top, put him to bed. His feet are totally, completely better this morning. It was so exciting to see. So how I knew he had athlete's foot is that he was peeling and he was picking his feet last night. I was like, what are you doing? He showed me his feet and I'm like, you've got athlete's foot. Like, how did you do that? Well, his feet are always moist, right? Like, it just happens. So I treated his shoes with melaleuca purify, and then last night and this morning we put on copaiba, and melaleuca to be able to help with that. And then, so it's really good for a detox. You can hear a lot of people talking about this, but under the tongue, it will help detox all those organs. What does detoxing mean? Detox means that you're just going to get out all the little petrochemicals and things that you drink. You know, maybe you warm up your food in plastic. You're getting petrochemicals that way. Maybe you drink out of a styrofoam cup, and you know, that is going to have some effect. You're going to get extra little chemicals. If you eat food with preservatives, again, you're also ingesting some of these chemicals that your body doesn't really like. And then the body puts it into brown fat. Right under your skin is that brown fat, and it will help pull those out and help that brown fat go away. Like, who knew? It's really, really, really helpful. So I'm going to give you a really awesome recipe right now that I use. I already gave you one that you can use. I'm going to give you another one if you're like, I don't want to fuss with all of that, making my own roller bottle. You can take your roller bottle of Clary Calm, and you can put copaiba over the top of that. A little bit of aroma touch, and then apply deep blue rub to that, and you will really decrease your pain right away. For menstrual cramps, you can use that over your uterus and on the back. Another tip that I just literally got 4 days ago was a man contacted me who was having prostate issues, and he said, I know that you are a cancer thriver, and I loved your bio, and I wanted to know if you had anything that I could use to enhance my experience with recovering from prostate cancer. I still have my prostate in, it's not working, and I have to frequently go to the bathroom all the time. And I really want to be able to decrease the size of my prostate so that I can get off of, I don't want to have surgery or go and have any kind of medication or anything like this, like the treatments that they want me to use. So do you have any other efforts? I'm using DDR Prime internally. So here's my tip. For men and women, if you're concerned about over excited cells that like to mutate in your uterus or your ovaries or your prostate, it is a good idea to, right where every man, right in the same spot that women have a uterus, that's where your prostate is, inside. And if you want to just apply copaiba and then DDR Prime, or DDR Prime and then copaiba, either one, over that area, you will be able to support your prostate. Women, you'll be able to support your ovaries and your uterus with the same protocol. It is very, very effective. All right. It doesn't mean you're never going to get mutated cells. It just means that your experience is going to be better than it could be should you get a diagnosis like that. Okay. I promise, as a recovery of breast issues, that this would have been a dream for me to have, to be able to enhance my experience. I still had a really great experience using DDR Prime, rosemary, and lavender. A lot of people always ask me what your protocol was. That is it. And then I gave him my green dragon drink. And so if you want to have my green dragon drink that I got from a Chinese medicine through a friend, a Chinese medicine man, through a friend of mine, go ahead and email info at oils, OILS, the number 2, go.com, and put green dragon drink at the top of that in the subject. Send that over to info at oils, the number 2, go.com, and we'll get that to you right away. You can juice those. That's my favorite way to do it now, is I juice those same fruits and veg, and I like it better in juice form than I ever did with a smoothie. I would water down my smoothie so much, but it's still effective. It's very, very good. So with that, I wanted to be able to end with the emotional. Wait. Somebody had asked about, I got a message, they couldn't be on this, and they wanted something for sleep. And I just got this for a guy who was super snoring, and his wife was like, time on the big toe is not working. What can I try? So we tried this. Patchouli. I know, but this patchouli is not your grandma's patchouli. You can stop laughing. If you hate patchouli, you know who you are. It's okay. Give it a go. I promise it might change your world. Okay. So patchouli, you're going to apply that to the big toe, and then you're going to apply copaiba right afterward. And you're going to do the same things to the back of your neck. You're going to swipe under your nose and rub it over your heart. Swipe your forehead. Literally, I promise it will work. You can also put these same things in your diffuser if you want to. And tell me how it works. Tell me if it works for you to stop that, stop that snoring so you guys can sleep in the same bed. All right, so copaiba, I told you I was going to be using this awesome book right here. Okay, right here. This is the Unveiling Essential Oil. So copaiba invites individuals to connect with their past. It offers a deep, intertwining energy that links experiences to unveil the deeper meaning and messages showing up in one's life. Copaiba respects the sacred shelter within until it is ready to emerge into the light of connectedness. Now, I want to just pause here for a minute. This is what all essential oils will do on an emotional level. It waits until the body and the mind and the spirit can all release trauma. That's why they're like your secret weapon. You can use them. You can use the wheel and look at the emotions that you have that you just cannot get rid of, those memories, perhaps things that pop up. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's, it can be all kinds of things how they manifest. But all essential oils will do this for you. You just have to find the one that is your issue. But as an overall unveiling, if you're trying to work through stuff and you're just like, I just can't figure out what was the problem, where did it start, and you want to find out, you won't go through all the trauma, but you'll remember, and then you'll be able to deal with the trauma really fast. You'll be able to get rid of it, because here's what this will do. It then invites the individual to become thoughtfully aware of the shadow aspects of themselves and discover who they are. So these are like the little motes that you have in someone else's eye that are really in your own. Okay, these are the things that bother you about somebody else that really are your own issues, because it's about perspective, and it talks about that in here. Individuals that need copaiba often find that vulnerable self-awareness work reveals unresolved pain and hidden recesses of their heart, mind, and body. Many discover that they are plagued with feelings of guilt, shame, blame, inadequacy, unworthiness, and often absorbed in their early environment. Okay, so this is stuff that happens when you're young. Oftentimes, these shame-based feelings distort the perception and interaction with other people. Everything seen through this filter is less than, and creates and copaiba creates an assistance to help bring that to light and help you with those internalized emotions. Copaiba often invites others who have done something to cause guilt or shame and undergo appropriate remorse and then move on, remembering that forgiveness of self is also very necessary. If not dealt with, these lower vibrational emotions will drive an individual to rebel and overcompensate. Both are a product of running from the center of truth and its existence, and acknowledging the reality of past choices and experience allows individuals to grow and change on a more conscious level in a clear way. All right. Copaiba also invites individuals to come to a divine clarity. The divine source is a connecting force that it allows the processes of wisdom and transcends moral perception. Copaiba assures the mental and emotional, physical, and spiritual limitations are only temporary. The divine does not expect individuals to navigate challenges all alone and do hard things alone. but yet produce growth and change within an individual. Instead, copaiba teaches that the divine will reveal the higher message of oneself. It will unveil that they have always been treasured, accepted, valued, loved, and even more. Copaiba imparts only through this divine unveiling when the individual fully accepts the magnificence and the reality that makes peace with their past. Okay, so this is really very enlightening for many of us. I feel that forgiveness is really an important piece that is super powerful, that all of us can have a totally different experience in our life journey if we will forgive. And so if forgiveness is very difficult for you, I would invite you to lean to the life source of essential oils to assist you in that process. And copaiba could be one of those for you. So I want to thank each one of you for being with us. There has been a question about the diffuser in the background. This is the new diffuser from doTERRA that they have this month with my obsession, which is citrus bloom. You guys, this is the most incredible little diffuser you have ever seen in your life. It was next to my bed, well, not next to my bed, across the room. And I'd never heard it, but when I'm right here next to it, I can hear it. So I think I'm gonna sleep with it tonight, and I'll tell you how I feel about it in the morning. But it's been on the other side of the room, and I haven't been able to hear it. You can have the light on or off. You can have this on for 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, and it's itty bitty. And it puts out a lot of juice there. Do you see that? Isn't that great? So I'm totally obsessed with the citrus bloom. And it is an incredible citrus bloom. All these citruses in here are just incredible, and I'm addicted. And how did I get this? Well, I was making my loyalty reward order, and if you're not part of the loyalty program, ask the person who invited you to doTERRA. It is the smartest way to buy your product. At 50 points or higher, you keep accruing an extra 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30% back on every single order you make through this loyalty program. Plus your shipping is free because it recycles as points. So I made this big order and I got 200 points worth of stuff for free. You cannot get citrus bloom for free, but this was part of my purchase. But I did buy the Healthy Habits kit, and that is a smoking deal. It happens to be my very favorite product that doTERRA is putting out right now as far as like packages. It is the smartest way to get your lifelong vitality, to get deep blue, to get lemon, lavender, peppermint, frankincense, like all these little 5 ml bottles of juicy goodness that really are going to help enhance your life. So if you haven't picked up a Healthy Habits tour yet, we're going to include the link to where everyone can go. This is a 2-hour product training on how to enhance your life through everyday habits of using essential oils. So like I said, you get lemon, lavender, peppermint, balance, frankincense, and they are all amazing to just help you get started and figure out baby steps how to use this. If you're already a really robust essential oil user and you're wanting a little more meat, you're going to get that there as well. It's going to go into the science behind the lifelong vitality, why nutrition is a real substantial place to start for our healing process and allowing the body and the mind to function on the highest level possible, so that our journey is really amazing in this world. So if you've got an athlete at home, you have someone who's troubled with emotions, maybe chronic pain, this is a tour you will not want to miss. I'm going to do a special episode for you on the Healthy Habits package so that you can learn how to use everything in that. So stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, like I said, you can drop those below this right here, and we will get those answered right away. If you have other experiences, we'd love to hear them. So we're going to just open up for any questions. Is there anything that we have a question about? Comments?
Sharon,
yeah.
Excuse me, Sharon, I have a question. So when you're talking to people about copaiba, and the very first thing that they ask, is it marijuana? And what is our actual answer we can give to them saying, because I'm like, I struggle with that. I struggle to talk to people about what it is.
So this is not, thank you for that. And thank you for the clarification. It is not marijuana. Okay. Marijuana is its own genus of plant. Hemp is its own genus of plant, right? It's not the same. So this is not going to be like CBD oil in any way, shape, or form. This comes from an Amazonian tree that's really, really, really big. And it really has a life source of very similar, and this isn't simple, I'm just telling you now what it does. The Amazonian tree gives the similar constituents like frankincense. But copaiba, Renee, is much more powerful than even frankincense. So frankincense has one set of rules. Copaiba has a whole different set of rules. But on an internal level, does it act like, is it marijuana? No, it's not. That's the simple answer. No, it's not. It comes from an Amazonian tree, and it's not a hallucinogenic. Well, and then people will come back to you and say, well, neither is some of the marijuana. But it has none of that property. You don't have to refine it. You don't have to do it in any way, shape, or form different other than just getting that essential oil. Now, there is a difference in quality. doTERRA has the highest medicinal value out of any essential oil on the market. And what does that mean when you say medicinal value? You often hear therapeutic grade, right? So doTERRA isn't meant to replace a medication. But when you're looking for something on a chemical level of its potency, doTERRA is the most potent and the purest form of essential oil on the planet being produced right now. Regardless of what competitors say, if you put their profiles and you want to pay for it, put their profiles of those essential oils that you're using or attracted to next to one another. Go pay for, not sure what that was, but pay for a test on those different companies and their essential oils. You will see that doTERRA's will come out on top every time. So Renee, the answer is no, it's not marijuana. Is that helpful?
It is. So is it okay for us to actually say that it has the similar effects like marijuana, but it's not marijuana? Or like, how do we?
Good question. I love that you're
question, because me who doesn't know plants and all that kind of stuff, I want to feel more positive of actually communicating that to my clients.
It actually is going to give you a better response than CBD cream, CBD oil, or marijuana smoking it. It doesn't matter how you shake it or dice it. The same with hemp cream or anything like that. It's going to give you a better experience, period. It's going to reduce the pain for better, longer, on a deeper level, and it's going to actually help the body to be able to, instead of blocking it, basically what marijuana and hemp oil and CBD oil does is it acts like a blocker. And we've learned that blockers block it, but the body's still experiencing trauma. And the beauty of essential oils is that they get in and they don't block it, they just help the body communicate. So everything's talking and not blocking. So it's not like this, it's like this. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Does that simplify it?
Yeah, absolutely. So then what would be the difference of the soft gels and the oil?
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I had the soft gels right here and I totally forgot to talk about it. I'm going to show you guys. So the soft gels, you just take internal. These are for internal, like say you have chronic pain and you really want the body to be supported. You're going to be able to take one of these at morning, noon, and night. You can take them every 2 or 3 hours apart if you need to. Like after surgery, this combined with deep blue polyphenol would be a really good way to be able to stay on top of pain without using opioids, narcotics, or another kind of pain reliever, and still be able to function. Okay, you'd be able to take these and still go drive your car. You'd still be able to take these and still have a normal conversation without being high as a kite. And believe me, I have gotten on the phone and had conversations after surgery where they had me on opioids, and the conversations were really interesting. We'll just put it that way. So these can help you and assist you, and your hospitals will allow you, especially if you're someone who suffers from addiction to these types of products. You can tell your doctor, listen, I have this protocol I would like to have permission to use, and you can take one of these copaiba soft gels along with deep blue polyphenol and take it every 2 to 3 hours to help you with your pain levels, as well as being able to apply the essential oil where you need it. Is that helpful, Renee?
Yeah, I followed Dave on his podcast that he takes one every night to help with, like pain and all that kind of stuff at night. So I started taking one at night, and I'm sleeping so much better, and I do take my Serenity soft gels as well, but my aches in my fingers don't hurt as much, and my back pain and all that kind of stuff. So I swear on the soft gels.
Yeah. David Sterling did a really great podcast. Do you think we should actually link up that podcast to this post?
I think so, because it's really good information for sure. And it's coming from the horse's mouth.
Right? I know. David Sterling, for those of you who might not know, David Sterling is the one of the owners of doTERRA. He is our CEO, and he is really an incredible human being. And that's why that recipe for snoring, I think, works so well. I'm going to actually tell him to take the copaiba soft gels, because I had forgotten about that podcast until you just did it. And now that you just said that it's really helping you sleep better, taking one at night might help with that too, and help you get a better REM. Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for participating with us. Again, drop your questions below. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it, and have an awesome, awesome day.